Hey friends, Pastor Andy here. Welcome to Making It Simple. Always great to be with you. It is Thursday, so that means this is our Friday. We wrap up the week today. We're going to wrap up our teaching today as well. Where did it fall? Now, I told you in the very first lesson that as we would progress through this story, we would answer that question. Where did it fall? And how do we find it? Well, today we get to that part. And I'm excited about this because while the lesson today may be slightly shorter, the impact is eternal. And I want you to hear me in as we look at that. We go back to our story. The worker has lost his axe head, all right, and he's cried out about this, and he said, it's gone. He's upset because it's been borrowed, and we've kind of looked at all of that. What we find as he lost this particular piece of equipment is he lost his ability to finish the work that he was doing. He lost his ability to finish the assignment that he was in. And so we saw throughout this lesson how this applies to humanity, how it applies to nations, and then really just the world at large. Is that when something that we need is no longer there, it impedes progress, right? Many believers all around the world are in this place. They've lost their axe head, and they can't seem to find a way to cross that finish line. They can't seem to find a way to get where they need to go. Elisha, he asked this young man, where did it fall? In other words, where did the problem start? Where did the problem start? We read further in that story, and it says that the worker pointed it out. He literally looked at the riverbed, wherever they were at, and he says, right over there. That was where the problem started, is when it flew off the handle into the water, and there it was. Here's where it gets interesting. Elisha, it tells us, goes over and he cuts down a piece of wood, tree branch, whatever the case. He took it off and he tossed it into the water, and the axe head surfaced. Now, that sounds a little supernatural, right? That sounds a little interesting. What was going on? The axe head, this heavy metal object, now all of a sudden appeared, because the wood, the tree, had gone into the water. In other words, it was lost, but now it's found. Friends, the answer, hold on, the answer is always found in the tree. Pastor, what are you talking about? You see, friends, that stick, that branch, that tree, whatever it was, that piece of wood, it represents the cross. It represents the cross. Every single thing, every situation that we've looked at through this lesson and that you're dealing with right now, wherever it is in this world today that you are, humanity, nations, believers, whatever, every single time, every single thing, we can turn to the cross of Christ for the answer. That's the entirety of what this whole message has been about. Where did it fall? How do we find it? When we look to the answers that took place on that day, when we look to the answers that took place within the confines of that singular event, we find the change that we all need, because there we find the solid answer. Not a maybe, not a speculation, but a fact. And here we are reminded of the answer we need. So regardless of where it fell, where did it fall? Regardless of that geographic location, through the tree, we can be rescued. I love that. I hope that blesses you. It made me think of an old song. Of course, I try to break out one every now and then because they have such meaning. These words were penned many years ago, and it simply says this: He molded and built a small lonely hill that he knew would be called Calvary. Then he made the seed that would grow to be thorns that would make his son bleed. Then he made a green stem, gave it leaves, and then gave it sunshine and rain and moss. Then he grew the tree that he knew would be used to make the old rugged cross. For nothing took his life, but with love he gave it. He was crucified on the tree that he created, but with great love for man, God stayed with his plan. Yes, he grew the tree so that we might go free. That's the answer, friends. The answer for where did it fall will always be found in the rescue of the cross. God bless you. I hope this lesson has been a blessing to you. Lord willing, on Monday, we'll start a brand new teaching. Not sure what it is yet, but we'll go down that road when we come back together on Monday. God bless you. Have a great day.